for a guy like me to kind of just not do anything, it put me in a tailspin. And now I'm back and got my head out of wherever it was, and now I'm back. So
what do you do, being in the position that you were in, what do you do to keep yourself focused, to keep yourself back on track?
To focus is really not an issue for me. Is when I get something, when I have something scheduled, I mean, focus is not an issue. It's going too hard is the issue for me. Overtraining and trying to get the maximum amount I can in a day. Because between not only just training, I teach as well, and I have a wife and 4 kids. Between all their events and all the stuff that I need to do with the gym and training on top of that, it fills my day, and I just try to be the best that I can in everything that I do, and it's just hard, So overtraining would actually be the thing for me that would be the hardest, is overtraining, getting some rest.
How's it helped you? Not just train just to train, but actually train for a purpose right now. How's that helped you?
Oh, dude, it's helped me just to focus in, have a person in mind now, and really hone in my skills to be able to really think about Tim Boetsch and what he does and how to counter that and how he would attack me and how his game plan would be towards me. So it actually makes me want to train harder, but makes me want to be smarter at the same time.
We were with you down at Rain that day when the fight was really just getting sealed up, and I'm not gonna lie, Mark, you were a little heavier that day.
yes, I was.
Let's talk about
heavy.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what you've been doing since, and like you just said, the motivation, knowing it's Tim. Specifically, what elements do you think you have to train in preparation for him?
Yeah. So when you saw me, Karen, I was actually very big, and that was the tailspin I was talking about. Kind of went in depression, and it's kind of like one of Austin Powers' characters in his movie, Fat Bastard. I ate because I was sad, and I was sad because I ate. And that was the thing. It was just bad. But I think adversity is the dust that polishes a diamond, and it's a bump in the road for me, and that's part of my story, and now I'm back on the horse and I'm riding again. So when you saw me, I was just getting back on the horse actually and riding, So having an adversity-stricken year, it was really, really hard for me, because the year before that, I fought 4 times. Actually, 2 years I fought 4 times, and I was fighting regularly, and it just was hard for me to not be able to fight and not be able to compete and not train for 6 months. So it was very hard for me.
And so now when it comes time to face Tim, we know what his skill set is, but what have you been doing specifically in preparation to face him?
Yeah, so I've been really concentrating on my wrestling. Been really doing a lot of jiu-jitsu as well. My striking, I've always need to hone in my skills with striking, but most importantly is being able to get the game plan down without giving too much away. I want to be able to transition between striking to wrestling to grappling, or my patented ground and pound. So I've been really honing in on my transitions between striking and takedowns and being able to look for what I want on the ground. So been doing that a lot, and really concentrating on my striking.
And I know you and Jake have such a great bond, Ellenberger. How good do you think he is? How do you think he's going to do against Rory?
I think he's going to do unbelievable. I'm not biased or anything, but I think he's going to do great. Just the fact that I have a guy that has the same mentality as I do, that trains hard and is very focused in becoming a world champ, because that's what he wants to be, and he puts everything into that. And I'm so excited for him. The fact that he left his hometown to come train at Rain, and for him to kind of just forsake everything that he knows, and then just have faith and know that it was going to work out here at Rain. Just that alone, I love the guy, but his work ethic on top of that, it's unbelievable.
Mark, is there one thing you can point to? You talked about the dark days of Munoz.
Yeah.
Is there one thing that you can point to, or one moment that kind of pushed you over the hill, as far as the depression, as far as the eating? Is there one thing that you think to? It's like, yeah, that was it. That's what clicked.
Yeah. So when I lost the fight in the fashion that I lost, and it was actually a struggle to actually make weight as well because I couldn't run, and getting into that fight, I actually saw myself on fight day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this does not look like me, and it threw me for a loop then. So then when I lost in the fashion I lost, it kind of just, when I lost, it just, that was kind of the pivotal point right there. And so after that, it took me about a week to kind of, like, what are you doing? Dust off the cobwebs. I mean, just stop thinking about it and just move on. It's just a bump in the road, but it was really, really hard for me. After that week, the doctor said, you broke your 4th and 5th metatarsal. You might be out for a year. And then that's the straw that was the straw that broke the camel's back right there. And I just like, I was like, man, I can't believe this is happening to me, and prayed a lot and had a lot of people praying for me, and that's I really went through it right there when the doctor told me that that'd be out for a year.
Right, but was there a moment where that washed away, where you realized that was there a moment when you put all that behind you, like a clicking, or was it a gradual process of just getting healthy again and getting a fight getting a fight announced, or was there a moment where it all clicked?
It was a gradual process, because I tried to get back on the mat, just try to do something, and I was always forcing myself to get back on my feet and either walk or, I would take off the boot and try to walk, and my wife she's like, put the boot back on, what are you doing?
That's why we have wives.
Yep.
Yes.
Christy.
Yes, Christy, she is amazing. She just said, put the boot back on, you can't do anything, and I was hitting mitts with the boot on. She's like, stop, what are you doing? And it was a gradual process for me. It was really, really hard for me. And the doctor had to really just be on my case. Hey, you got to rest it. You got to ice it. You got to make sure you're doing everything you can to come back sooner, not later. So yeah, it was a gradual process.
Is it safe to say you feel like a different fighter?
Yeah, I do. I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see a way different fighter in me. Probably you're going to see even a more hungry fighter. So I'm looking forward to this fight for sure.
When we say adversity builds characters.
Yes, it does. It really does.
So you traveled to the Philippines as an ambassador of sorts for the UFC. You've got a UFC gym now, right, as well?
There's talks.
Okay.
There's talks. So yeah, I went to the Philippines, and I have a lot of love out there. I really do. And I love the Philippines, of course. I'm Filipino and 100% pure bred Filipino. So I'm pretty happy about what's going on over there with MMA, and I truly want to be that ambassador representing for them, not only here in the States but also over there in the Philippines. So yeah, so there's talks of the UFC gym. I'm definitely going to have visits to the Philippines more frequently throughout the year now, and working with them to further advance MMA and wrestling.
You just talked about your program. You're a very proud Filipino fighter.
Yes, I am.
Another one that just fought last Saturday was Danilo Donaire.
Yes.
He lost the decision to Ringo.
Yeah.
What words would you have for him right now?
Adversity is the best that polishes a diamond, and adversity is definitely builds character. Champions aren't measured by how many wins they have, but how many times they pick themselves up after a loss. He's definitely a champion. He's definitely going to get back on the horse again. And if I had words for him, like, this is not going to derail him for what he wants to be in the sport and how he wants to live his legacy. So I view him as just an unbelievable athlete, and everybody does too. And he's definitely going to come back and be a champ again.
And another boxer, that's Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is next for Pacquiao?
He's definitely going to come back. He wants to come back. He's a fighter, and he had a lot on his plate. He really did. I mean, between the singing, between the acting, between the being wife, congressman, and like all this stuff, like, he still fought, and I think he just needs to, schedule his priorities, not prioritize his schedule. So I mean, it's an ongoing thing for him, because he's a super mega star. and he needs to just prioritize his life. And I think when that happens, he's definitely going to get back on track.
Seeing all the stuff those two fighters go through
Yeah.
day in and day out, does that motivate you more to be a better fighter and a better person?
Just seeing everything that goes on, I think we as fighters, we're actually put in the kind of like this,
Spotlight.
Yeah, in the spotlight, and people see us, and I think it's character is actually revealed. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say sports builds character. I think character is revealed through sport. So it does make me feel blessed that I'm actually in the position I'm at, so that I can actually impact another person and leave a lasting impact on them and leave my legacy that way. So yeah, I've regardless if I see other athletes or not, if I didn't have an athlete or someone say, hey Mark, you'd be good at doing something so and so, or wrestling, getting into wrestling or getting into MMA, I don't know where I would be. I'd probably be coaching somewhere, which is not a bad profession. I think I'm going to coach after I'm done. But now that I'm in the spotlight, I can actually share my beliefs and share what I believe is how to impact the community and how to impact somebody in a positive way. So that's what I love, because I go on and I do anti-bullying speeches to different high schools, and I talk to different kids about being at risk, and they're not at risk. Their choices definitely impact their future, and their life choices definitely mold and shape them to the person they are today and tomorrow and in the future. So I go around and tell them these things, and I make sure that I leave my legacy that way. Because at the end of the day, people aren't going to notice what you say or what you do to them, but they're going to remember how you make them feel. So.
Dana was talking the other day about how the UFC is doing much more internationally. Has there been any more talk about you doing possibly coaching tough in the Philippines?
There was talks about that earlier, and with the Philippines, they had to get some things kind of worked out in the Philippines, and then Brazil popped up, and then boom, Brazil happened. So the Philippines is on the horizon, and there is talks about the UFC going to the Philippines in 2014. So
For a card?
For a card,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm definitely going to be on that card. So have to.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise some. But yeah, so there's talks about that, but I haven't heard about it tough. So when I do, I'll
Give me a call.
Yeah, I'll give you a call. Yeah. Somebody will be talking about it. I will.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.